English Learning Podcast.
Listen, learn, and effortlessly enhance your English.
Hello and welcome to Handi's English Learning Podcast. I'm Aisha, and in today's video, we're going to take a deep and complete journey through English learning, starting from level 1 and gradually progressing up to level 7. This video is designed for everyone, from beginners to more advanced learners. If you're someone who wants to practice, improve, and become fluent in English step by step, you're in the right place. I'll guide you through practice exercises, routine stories, and useful examples to help you understand how to grow your English skills with confidence and consistency. Level 1. The basics. Let's start with the basics. At level 1, we begin with simple introductions and everyday phrases. Imagine you are meeting someone for the first time. You might say, "Hello, my name is Anna. I am from Brazil. I am a student. Nice to meet you." These sentences help you understand subject-verb agreement, basic sentence structure, and word order. Now, let's turn this into a small story. Anna wakes up in the morning. She brushes her teeth. She eats breakfast. Then she goes to school. At school, she sees her friend Mark. She says, "Hello, Mark, how are you?" Mark replies, "I am good, thank you. And you?" Anna smiles and says, "I'm fine. Let's go to class." This short story helps you learn how to talk about your daily routine and interact with others. Now, repeat after me. Anna wakes up in the morning. She brushes her teeth. She eats breakfast. She goes to school. She sees her friend Mark. They talk and go to class. These small sentences are the foundation of your English learning journey. Practicing them every day will help you become more comfortable with speaking and understanding English. Level 2. Describing your world. Let's move a step ahead. Level 2 introduces you to describing things around you. You can talk about your room, your clothes, or the weather. Let me tell you a short story. Tom is in his room. He looks around. The bed is big and soft. The table is near the window. There is a lamp on the table. Tom is wearing a red shirt and blue jeans. Outside, the sun is shining. The sky is blue. Birds are singing. Tom says, "It is a beautiful day." You can use this story to practice describing your surroundings. Repeat with me. The bed is big. The table is near the window. The lamp is on the table. The sky is blue. It is a beautiful day. You can also create your own small stories using your environment. For example, describe your living room or your school classroom. Level 3. Action verbs and time now. We enter level 3, where we start using action verbs and time expressions. Let's use a simple story to practice. Sarah wakes up at 6 a.m. She takes a shower, gets dressed, and eats her breakfast. At 7 a.m., she leaves for work. She arrives at her office at 8 a.m. She works on her computer, attends meetings, and talks to clients. At 12 p.m., she eats lunch with her friend Lily. After lunch, she works until 5 p.m. Then she goes home, cooks dinner, watches TV, and goes to bed at 10 p.m. This routine helps you practice verbs like wake up, take, get, leave, arrive, work, attend, eat, cook, and watch. These are all common action verbs used in daily conversation. Repeat after me. Sarah wakes up at 6 a.m. She takes a shower. She eats breakfast. She goes to work. She attends meetings. She talks to clients. She eats lunch. She goes home. She watches TV. She goes to bed. Try telling your own daily routine in English now. Use the words we just learned. Start with what. Time you wake up and describe each part of your day using simple sentences. This practice builds your fluency naturally. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Speaking daily, even for a few minutes, helps you learn much faster. Level 4. Conversations. In public places at Level 4, we start exploring conversations in shops, restaurants, and other public places. Let's imagine a scene in a coffee shop. Lisa walks into a coffee shop and sees the menu. She says, "Hello, I would like a large cappuccino, please." The cashier replies, "Sure, would you like anything to eat?" Lisa says, "Yes, I'll have a blueberry muffin." The cashier asks, "For here or to go?" Lisa says, "To go, please." The cashier replies, "That will be $5. Lisa pays and says, "Thank you." The cashier says, "Have a great day." Now, repeat the conversation with me. I would like a large cappuccino. I'll have a blueberry muffin. To go, please. That will be $5. Thank you. Have a great day. Role-playing these kinds of dialogues helps you become confident in real-life situations. You can also imagine other places, like a grocery store, where you might say, "Can I get a bag of rice and some tomatoes?" Or at a clothing store, "Do you have this in a smaller size?" Practicing these lines makes you sound natural when speaking with others in English. Now, let's go deeper into practice with a story that uses shopping. Emma goes to the market every Saturday. She takes her shopping list with her. First, she buys vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and onions. Then she goes to the fruit section and buys apples, bananas, and oranges. She also needs milk, eggs, and bread. At the checkout counter, she pays with her card. The cashier gives her a receipt, says, "Have a nice day." Emma puts her bags in the car and drives home. Repeat with me. Emma goes to the market. She buys vegetables. She buys fruits. She pays with her card. She gets a receipt. She drives home. This story not only gives you vocabulary, but also builds confidence to speak fluently about everyday experiences. You can replace Emma with yourself, and try saying your own shopping experience in English. Level 5. Expressing feelings and opinions. Let's now move towards Level 5, where we talk about expressing feelings and opinions. This is very important for having meaningful conversations. Let me share a short story to help you learn. David is talking to his friend Rachel. He says, "I'm feeling tired today." Rachel asks, "Why?" David says, "I didn't sleep well last night." Rachel replies, "I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you should take a nap." David says, "Yes, that's a good idea. I also feel a little stressed because of work." Rachel says, "Don't worry, things will get better." This dialogue helps you learn words like tired, stressed, good idea, sorry, and better. Repeat with me, I'm feeling tired. I didn't sleep well. That's a good idea. I feel stressed. Don't worry, things will get better. Try making your own sentences. Talk about how you feel today. You can say, I'm happy, or I'm nervous about my exam, or I feel excited because it is my birthday. Sharing feelings in English helps you connect with others emotionally, and that is a big part of real communication. Level 6. Advanced conversations and structures. As we continue on our English learning journey, we now move into more advanced conversations and structures in Level 6. This level focuses on giving opinions, agreeing or disagreeing politely, making suggestions, and using more complex sentences. Let's begin with a simple conversation between two friends discussing a movie they recently watched. Olivia says, I watched the new science fiction movie last night. I think it was amazing. Her friend Liam replies, Really? I thought it was just okay. The special effects were good, but the story was a bit slow. Olivia says, I can understand that. I liked the story because it was different. Liam nods and says, That's true. I guess I expected more action. Olivia adds, Maybe we can watch something else this weekend? How about a comedy? Liam smiles and says, Great idea. I'd love that. This dialogue shows how to express opinions. Listen to someone else's view and respond respectfully. You can repeat some key sentences with me. I think it was amazing. I thought it was okay. The story was a bit slow. I can understand that. How about a comedy? Great idea. Try creating your own version of this dialogue. Talk about a book you read, a meal you had, or a place you visited, and practice sharing your opinion about it. Let's try a short story now using suggestion phrases. Mia and Ethan are planning their weekend. Mia says, I don't want to stay home all day. Ethan says, Let's go hiking, the weather will be nice. Mia replies, That sounds fun, but I don't have hiking shoes. Ethan says, We can go to the lake instead. We can walk and have a picnic. Mia says, Perfect. I'll make sandwiches. Ethan says, And I'll bring snacks. Now, repeat after me. Let's go hiking. That sounds fun. We can go to the lake. We can have a picnic. I'll make sandwiches. I'll bring snacks. These expressions are useful when planning activities or making suggestions. You can use them with friends, classmates, or coworkers. Practice saying them aloud and changing the situation. 4. Example, instead of a lake, say the park, or instead of hiking, say watching a movie. Level 7. Describing experiences and future intentions. Now let's dive deeper into Level 7, the most advanced level in this video. At this stage, we learn to describe experiences, talk about past events, and express future intentions. Imagine. You are sharing a travel story. You could say, Last summer I traveled to Paris. It was my first time visiting France. I saw the Eiffel Tower, visited museums, and tried delicious food. The weather was warm and sunny, and I walked around the city every day. One of my favorite moments was watching the sunset by the river. I want to go again next year. Now let's practice this together. Last summer, I traveled to Paris. It was my first time visiting France. I saw the Eiffel Tower. I visited museums. I tried delicious food. I walked around the city every day. I want to go again next year. You can now create your own story about a trip or event you enjoyed. Use past tense verbs like traveled, saw, visited, tried, and walked. Also, try using future expressions like, I want to go again, or next year I plan to visit. Now let's look at another example, this time talking about future plans. Kevin and Julia are discussing their goals. Kevin says, I want to study abroad. Julia says, That's exciting. Where do you want to go? Kevin replies, I'm thinking about Canada. I want to improve my English and study business. Julia says, I hope it works out for you. I want to get a job after I graduate. Kevin says, That sounds like a good plan. What kind of job? Julia says, Something in design. I enjoy creating things. Practice repeating these sentences. Next year, I want to study abroad. I'm thinking about Canada. I want to improve my English. I hope it works out for you. I want to get a job. I enjoy creating things. You can now practice talking about your own goals. Think about what you want to do next year, or what you hope to do in the next 5 years. Use words like want to, hope to, plan to, or thinking about. These are helpful when you talk about your future. Bringing it all together. A comprehensive story. Let's bring all the levels together with a final story that includes all the vocabulary and expressions we have practiced so far. Jenny is a student who lives in a small city. Every morning she wakes up at 6:30 a.m. She brushes her teeth, eats breakfast, and takes the bus to her college. She usually arrives at 8:00 a.m. and attends her classes. Jenny studies English, history, and art. After class, she goes to the library to study or meet her friends. Sometimes they go to a coffee shop near the campus. Jenny always orders a hot latte and a croissant. In the evenings, she likes to watch movies with her family. Her favorite movie genre is comedy. She thinks, laughing is the best way to relax. On weekends, she goes shopping, cleans her room, or visits her grandparents. Last weekend, she went to the countryside with her parents. They had a picnic near the river and took many photos. Jenny says, "It was the most peaceful day of the year." She hopes to travel more in the future and meet new people from different cultures. Let's take phrases from this story and say them together. Jenny wakes up at 6:30 a.m. She eats breakfast. She takes the bus to college. She studies English, history, and art. She goes to the library. She orders a hot latte. Her favorite genre is comedy. She laughs to relax. She had a picnic near the river. She wants to travel more in the future. You can also take this story and replace Jenny with yourself. Change the details to match your own life. This is a great way to create personal stories and improve your English fluency. The more you talk about your own life, the easier it becomes to speak confidently in English. Tips for continued practice. Speaking daily and listening to natural conversations is key to improving your English. Try to speak aloud every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Describe your day, talk about your plans, or tell a short story. Use a mirror or record your voice. The more you practice, the better you'll get. If you don't have anyone to practice with, use these video scripts as your practice partner. Read along with me, pause and repeat sentences. Listening, reading, speaking. Doing all three will help your brain think in English naturally. Advanced storytelling, one important skill to focus on at an advanced level is storytelling. Telling a story in English helps you practice verb tenses, descriptive vocabulary, sentence flow, and emotional tone. Let me share a simple but engaging story, and then we'll go through it together for practice. Sophie had always wanted to learn how to bake. She remembered watching her grandmother make pies in the kitchen when she was a little girl. One Saturday morning, she decided to try baking on her own. She looked up a recipe for chocolate chip cookies, went to the store to buy the ingredients, and came back full of excitement. In her small kitchen, she mixed the butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. Then she added chocolate chips and shaped the dough into small balls. The whole room started to smell like warm, sweet cookies. After baking them for 15 minutes, Sophie tasted one and smiled. It was not perfect, but it was delicious. From that day on, she started baking every weekend. It became her new hobby and helped her relax after a long week of work. Now, let's repeat some parts of the story to practice your vocabulary and fluency. Sophie had always wanted to learn how to bake. She remembered watching her grandmother. She looked up a recipe. She bought ingredients. She mixed butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. The room smelled like cookies. She started baking every weekend. It helped her relax after a long week. Think about something you've always wanted to try. Maybe it's cooking, painting, traveling, or learning a new skill. Try telling your own story in English. Use past tense verbs like remembered, decided, bought, mixed, and started. Add feelings or results like, it made me feel happy, or I enjoyed it so much, I did it again. Practical vocabulary in action. Let's now take a common situation, going to a restaurant, and turn it into a practice story. This helps reinforce practical vocabulary and sentence patterns. Listen carefully. One evening, Michael and his cousin Sarah went to a new restaurant in their neighborhood. It was a small Italian place with soft music and candlelight. They looked at the menu and chose spaghetti with tomato sauce and grilled chicken. They also ordered lemonade. While waiting, they talked about their day and laughed at a joke Sarah told. When the food arrived, they were surprised at how good it looked. Michael said, "This is the best spaghetti I've ever had." Sarah agreed, and they enjoyed the meal slowly. At the end, they thanked the waiter and left a tip. On the way home, Michael said, "We should come here again." Now let's go over key parts of that dialogue. They went to a restaurant. They looked at the menu. They ordered spaghetti and chicken. They drank lemonade. They talked and laughed. The food looked good. They left a tip. We should come here again. You can use these sentences in your own stories. Change the restaurant, the food, or the people you were with. The more you practice personalizing these dialogues, the faster your English will improve. Overcoming challenges and daily routines. Let's try a story about an everyday challenge. This helps you learn how to describe problems and solutions using natural expressions. Emma had a presentation at work. She prepared her slides and practiced speaking. On the morning of the presentation, she felt nervous. She forgot her USB drive at home. She quickly emailed the file to herself from her phone and used a backup copy. During the presentation, her voice trembled at first, but then she felt more confident. She made eye contact with the audience and explained her ideas clearly. After she finished, her manager smiled and said, "Great job." Emma felt proud and relieved. She had faced her fear and succeeded. Now, repeat some phrases from the story. Emma had a presentation. She felt nervous. She forgot her USB drive. She used a backup copy. Her voice trembled. She explained her ideas clearly. Great job. She felt proud. This story shows how to talk about pressure, stress, and success in English. Try to tell your own version of a challenging moment. Use past tense for the experience and present tense to describe how it makes you feel now. For example, I gave a speech at school. I was nervous, but I did well. Now I feel more confident. Here's another routine activity turned into a story. Going shopping. Lisa needed to buy groceries for the week. She made a list: milk, eggs, bread, apples, and rice. She went to the supermarket near her house. Inside, she picked up a cart and started walking through the aisles. First, she went to the dairy section and got milk and eggs. Then she picked up apples from the fruit section. When she reached the bread section, she realized she forgot her wallet. Luckily, she had her phone and could pay with a mobile app. She finished her shopping, paid at the counter, and went home. Later that evening, she made an apple pie using the fruits she had bought. Let's practice some useful expressions. Lisa made a shopping list. She picked up a cart. She walked through the aisles. She got milk and eggs. She forgot her wallet. She paid with her phone. She went home. She made an apple pie. These are realistic everyday events that you can use in your speaking practice. Think of your last shopping trip. Where did you go? What did you buy? Did anything funny or unexpected happen? Telling simple stories like these builds vocabulary and strengthens shadowing and conditionals. 1. More helpful technique is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately, trying to match the pronunciation, rhythm, and tone. This is one of the fastest ways to sound more natural in English. For example, I will say a line, and you can repeat after me. I went to the market yesterday. I bought some fresh fruit. I forgot my wallet at home. I was nervous before my meeting. I had a great time with my friends. These are short, clear sentences you can practice every day. At this stage, it's also important to focus on conditionals. These are often used in both speaking and writing to express possibilities, hypothetical situations, and real-life outcomes. Let's go through each type naturally, using stories and examples to help you understand and practice. First, let's begin with the zero conditional. This is used for general truths and facts. For example, if you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. This kind of sentence is always true. Let's imagine a simple conversation. Tom is explaining something to his little sister. He says, "If you touch a fire, it burns." His sister nods. He continues, "If you don't water plants, they die." These are everyday facts. The sentence structure uses the present tense in both parts. Try to make your own sentences like this. For example, if it rains, the ground gets wet. If you don't study, you forget the lesson. These are zero conditional sentences. Now let's look at the first conditional. This is used for real and possible situations in the future. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will stay home. We use the present tense in the if clause and will in the result clause. Here's a short scene to practice. Sarah is talking to her friend Emma. She says, "If I finish my homework early, I'll watch a movie tonight." Emma replies, "Great. If you like it, tell me the name. I might watch it too." These are good first conditional examples. Try to create your own. If I wake up early, I'll go for a walk. If I study hard, I'll pass the exam. Let's move to the second conditional. This is used for unreal or imaginary situations in the present or future. For example, if I had $1 million, I would travel the world. It's not real. It's just a dream. The structure is past tense in the if clause and would in the result clause. Let's create a small story with this. Mark and Alex are sitting in a cafe. Mark says, "If I won the lottery, I'd buy a big house near the sea." Alex laughs and says, "If I were you, I'd buy a boat too." These sentences express wishes or dreams. Try saying some second conditional sentences. If I were a bird, I would fly everywhere. If I had more time, I would learn 2 more languages. Next is the third conditional. This is used for past situations that didn't happen, to express regret or imagine different outcomes. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the test. It's about the past, so it's not changeable anymore. Listen to this practice. Story. Lena is talking to her teacher after class. She says, "If I had started my project earlier, I would have finished it on time." The teacher replies, "Yes, and if you had asked me for help, I would have guided you." This type of conditional is important when you want to reflect on your actions. Try some examples. If I had gone to the party, I would have seen my friends. If I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick. Let's now do a mix-up practice of all conditionals. Repeat after me. If you don't drink water, you get thirsty. If I finish work early, I'll meet my friend. If I had a car, I would drive to the mountains. If I had set an alarm, I wouldn't have missed my flight. Practicing all 4 types of conditionals helps you sound more advanced and confident in your speaking. Boosting fluency and everyday English. Another powerful way to boost fluency is to learn useful phrases and expressions that are commonly used in everyday English. These help you sound natural and spontaneous. For example, instead of always saying, "I'm fine," you can say, "I'm doing well," or "not too bad." Let's practice more such phrases. Imagine you're meeting someone. You ask, "How's it going?" They reply, "Can't complain." It's a casual way of saying things are okay. In another situation, your friend says, "I'm starving." That means they're very hungry. Instead of saying, "I'm tired," try, "I'm worn out," or "I'm drained." Instead of, "I don't know," say "beats me," or "I have no clue." These are small changes, but they make your English sound more fluent and native-like. Let's use these in a mini conversation. John and Maya are walking home from work. John says, "Hey, how's it going?" Maya replies, "Not too bad, just a bit worn out." John laughs, "Same here, I'm starving. Want to grab a bite?" Maya smiles, "Sure, I could eat a horse." This is full of natural expressions. Try practicing them out loud. You should also focus on pronunciation patterns in English. One common difficulty for learners is connected speech. In spoken English, we often connect words together so that they flow smoothly. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" clearly, native speakers often say, "What you doing?" Similarly, "Did you eat?" becomes, "Did ya eat?" This happens naturally in fast, casual speech. Let's try a few examples. "I'm going to" becomes, "I'm gonna." "Want to" becomes "wanna." "Got to" becomes "gotta." Repeat after me. "I'm gonna watch a movie." "Do you want to come?" "I gotta finish this first." These contractions are very common in real conversation. Practice saying them to sound more fluent and to understand native speakers better. Let's put this into a short dialogue. Lily says, "Hey, you want to grab some coffee?" Jake replies, "Sure, but I gotta finish this email first." Lily laughs, "No problem. I'm gonna wait outside." This is how people speak in real life. Practice it and try using it when talking to others. Thinking in English as you move to higher levels, you should also begin thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. One way to do this is by describing what you see around you. For example, if you're in your room, say to yourself, "I see a window. The sun is shining through it. I hear birds outside. My phone is on the table." These simple thoughts help train your brain to stay in English mode. Try it right now. Look around you and describe things in English. Use short, complete sentences. My cup is on the desk. I am wearing a blue shirt. The fan is running. It feels quiet here. This daily habit will increase your fluency and reduce hesitation. Reading out loud is another technique. Pick a short English story or dialogue and read it out loud every day. It helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. You can even record yourself and compare it with a native speaker version. You'll notice improvement with just 10 minutes of daily practice. The power of practice. Now that we've explored grammar, vocabulary, conditionals, and spoken English patterns, let's move into storytelling and shadowing practice. These methods are excellent for building fluency and confidence. In storytelling, You learn how to talk about everyday situations using clear and simple English. Shadowing helps you repeat sentences after listening to them, improving your pronunciation and rhythm. Let's begin with a simple daily routine story. You can repeat it after me, pausing when needed. My name is Emma. I usually wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I get out of bed and take a quick shower. Then I brush my teeth and get dressed for work. I like having a light breakfast. Usually, I eat toast and drink a cup of coffee. At 7:30, I leave my house and catch the bus to the office. It takes me about 30 minutes to reach. When I get to work, I check my emails and prepare my to-do list for the day. This is an example of a clear and structured story. You can change the names and details to make your own version. Try this. My name is Daniel. I usually wake up at 7. I drink a glass of water, take a shower, and have a banana for breakfast. Then I go to the gym. After my workout, I start my workday. These little stories help you think in English and express yourself better. Now, let's use the same method for a weekend activity story. On Saturdays, I like to sleep in a little longer. I wake up at around 8. I make pancakes for breakfast and listen to music. Around 10, I go grocery shopping with my roommate. We buy fruits, vegetables, snacks, and some juice. In the afternoon, I watch a movie or read a book. I also call my parents and talk to them for a while. In the evening, I sometimes meet my friends for dinner. We go to a nearby restaurant and chat for hours. It's always a fun and relaxing day. Now, try this version. On Sundays, I take it easy. I wake up slowly, stretch, and enjoy a cup of tea. Then I clean my room and organize my desk. In the afternoon, I go for a walk in the park. I listen to an audiobook and take deep breaths. It helps me feel calm before the new week begins. This kind of story teaches structure and also introduces common verbs, time expressions, and vocabulary. Let's do a practice story using past tense. Last weekend, I visited my cousin. We hadn't seen each other in a long time. I took the train to her city. The journey was smooth, and I enjoyed listening to music during the ride. When I arrived, she was waiting at the station. We hugged and laughed a lot. We went to a cafe, ordered coffee, and talked about everything. Later, we walked through the old market, bought some souvenirs, and took pictures. It was a lovely day. Past tense stories are useful because they help you explain past experiences. Try building your own. Last weekend, I went to the zoo. I saw lions, giraffes, and monkeys. I took many photos and had ice cream with my family. It was a happy day. Now, let's move into the shadowing technique. I will speak a sentence slowly, and you should try to repeat it as quickly and clearly as possible after me. Ready? I'm going to the store to buy some milk. She was reading a book when the phone rang. They haven't decided where to go yet. Could you please help me with this? I've been learning English for 2 years now. It's important to stay calm during an interview. What do you usually do after dinner? I wish I had more free time during the week. Repeat each sentence several times. The goal is to match the pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm of a native speaker. It may feel challenging at first, but it becomes easier with daily practice. You can also record yourself and listen to your speech, compare it, and correct where needed. Continuous improvement, another good habit, is keeping a daily English journal. Every night before going to bed, write 2 or 3 sentences about your day. For example, today I felt tired but proud. I completed my tasks and had a healthy lunch. I watched an English video and practiced speaking. Writing daily helps reinforce vocabulary and sentence structure. To take your learning to the next level, start practicing conversations in your mind. Imagine you're at a cafe. The waiter says, "Good morning. What would you like to order?" You reply in your mind, "I'll have a cappuccino and a muffin, please." Then imagine paying the bill, saying thank you, and walking out. Creating these mini dialogues in your mind helps you respond quickly and naturally in real conversations. Here's another situation. You're calling your friend. They ask, "What are you doing this weekend?" You say, "I'm planning to go hiking with my cousins. If the weather's nice, we'll have a picnic too." This way, you practice using future tense, vocabulary, and natural responses. As you reach higher levels of English, continue reading short stories, listening to podcasts, and watching videos with subtitles. Repeat phrases, take notes, and speak aloud. Make English a part of your daily environment. Label things in your house with English names like mirror, fridge, door, and window. This helps you think in English without realizing it. Another method is to teach what you learn. If you've learned 5 new words, explain them to someone else. If you've understood a grammar point, write an example and share it online or with a friend. Teaching strengthens your memory and improves your confidence. Finally, remember this journey is about progress, not perfection. Making mistakes is part of learning. Every word you speak, every sentence you write, and every story you tell makes you stronger in English. Practice a little every day, and soon you'll be speaking confidently and naturally. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this complete English learning journey from level 1 to level 7. I hope these practice exercises, stories, and examples helped you understand English more deeply. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to Honda's English Learning Podcast for more helpful videos. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, fluency comes with patience and effort. Take care and see you in the next video.